In a previous lesson, we had talked about that about 30% of total compensation was in the form of benefits and not pay. And this brings in the idea of employee preferences. So employee benefits is a form of other compensation other than cash. So now there are two types of benefits to discuss: payments in kind and deferred compensation. So payments in kind is compensations like employer provided health insurance or paid time off that is given to workers. Now in general, a lot of people would prefer to get the cash, but it's still out there because there are different people with different preferences. The second type of benefit is deferred compensation. This is money that's earned now but paid later. And the best example of this is a pension plan. So if we look at the indifference curves as it relates to the wage people get paid and the nominal employer cost of employee benefits. So it's downward sloping. If, again, it's at any point along that indifference curve, the worker is is just as happy. They have just as much satisfaction. Now the curve is convex. At high earning levels, like point J here, they're willing to forego some of the employee benefits. All right, so the nominal cost of employee benefits is low. Whereas at point K, they have a low wage, but that is made up by high levels of employee benefits. So there's that trade-off in there. Now, these curves are convex. When you have a high wage rate, when you're making a lot of money, you're willing to give up more of that money, large amounts of that money, keeping you just as happy to get some of those benefits. Whereas if you are down at point K, for example, and you have a lot of benefits, but you have a low wage rate, well, now you're not willing to give up as much money in order to get more benefits. And this goes back to the idea that we have more value on what we have less of. On the other side of this, the employer needs to make changes. And so you have a employer zero profit isoprofit curve. And so because this is the nominal amount employer cost of employee benefits, it's a slope of -1, and it's a 1-to-1 trade-off. Now, because it's not always a 1-to-1 trade-off, there are a couple alternatives. So this line isoprofit curve X here, that's where we have the 1-for-1. If it's a flatter curve, like an A, this can be, for example, some benefits give employers tax benefits as opposed to cash payments. So, for example, if they pay $300 for healthcare, the amount of taxes they owe go down by $100. So the employee is getting $300 more in benefit, but it's only costing the employer in net $200. So there you can see the flatter, whereas if they offer all benefits, they're going to be able to offer more than the cash equivalent of the pay. If it has a steeper slope, it's on the other hand. So decrease in wages costs will lead to greater cost. And so if there's a decrease in the pay, people may work less hours, and so the employer is still giving out those benefits, that insurance, but now the worker's not willing to work as much. And so they may need to hire more people and incur more of those costs. So just as with the hedonic wage theory, the employee benefits, it's a joint decision between the employer and the employee, okay, the worker and the firm. And so, again, there's offers that are being made there. So there's offers put out there. And those offers are combinations of wages and employee benefits. And for one wage, so firm Y may offer WY in the wage, and FY in benefits. And Z, or actually these are workers. Another firm can put out a wage of W and benefits of F. This is where you get the workers with the different preferences. And so worker Y may choose the higher wage, lower benefits, where worker Z might choose the lower wage, higher benefits. And this again goes all back to preferences. People who are not concerned with benefits. So for example, if you are 25 years old, you're perfectly healthy, you do really good saving for retirement, you may be willing to go to a job that pays a high wage, but you get low benefits from. Whereas you're someone who puts a high value on benefits, like person Z here, you'll be working to work for a lower pay, but with those higher benefits. In the end, it really comes down to, again, your preferences. And this is why you have that trade-off, and this is why there's different offers that are put out there, and for the most part, those offers attract an acceptable number of workers to fill them.